attributed to the episode.
It's hereditary.
Tozer's former team, the Milwaukee Wave, is partnering with the American Heart Association this weekend.
Sunday at 3 p.m., fans take a CPR course and be certified because CPR is a superpower.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Sports traffic and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:03.
Real James Imaging Systems clients. You've heard them right here on the radio for years. For instance, Chris Willems, office manager with Previan Law Firm.
I like the fact that the company is local and I can always get a hold of my representative who I have on speed dial or I have a cell phone.
Then there's James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark, who oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors.
If I do need service, they're here almost within 4 hours every time. I've never had an issue where I'm like, where is that guy?
James Imaging Systems business technology client Lori Salzman, Vice President of Enterprise Services at Junior Achievement of Wisconsin.
I've never met an organization that is so responsive to make sure that we are up and running all the time for us to be more efficient and allow us to focus more on the work that we do for helping young people.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. To learn more, visit jamesimaging.com.
Abby with Abby Windows here. I installed windows for a lady who was going to go with a cheaper bid than mine and didn't quite understand why I would only install her windows the right way. It was a 1990s home with metal-clad wood windows. She was very grateful she went with us when we found all the windows and knee walls were rotted so badly the 2x6s were crumbling in my hands. She never would have known if she would have let the other guy pocket fit those windows. If you want a customized install for your home and you want it done the right way, give Abby Windows a call today. And if somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Bucks fall to the Raptors 122-94. They're home again on Tuesday night, taking on the Heat. In their second day of Cactus League play today, the Brewers lose to the Royals 7-3. Tomorrow afternoon, they take on the Padres at 2 p.m. In today's final Milan Cortina Olympic Games, the U.S. men's hockey team defeats Canada 2-1 in overtime in the gold medal final. And in college sports, Badgers women's hockey defeats St. Cloud 4-2, and Badgers men's basketball defeats Iowa 84-71. Badgers sports updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Mostly clear on the roads right now, no major incidents and no slowdowns. Time for the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a few snowflakes possible, a low of 15. Monday, partly cloudy and breezy, a high of 27. Tuesday, a chance for light snow, a high of 37. On Wednesday, partly cloudy with a chance for wintry mix, a high of 32. Thursday, mostly cloudy, another chance for wintry mix, a high of 36. On Friday, mostly sunny skies, a high of 45. Right now in Madison, it's 18 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 21. In Waukesha, it's 20. And in Milwaukee, it's 23 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:06.
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
We live in a country that is based on capitalism.
Speak up.
True. I travel all around the world, Dr. Ken, and when I tell you, based on my experiences, this is like the number one country that cares. Like everything is about money.
Yep.
Everything.
I've told people in the past, you have to be careful of what you complain about and what you use as a tool because other people will take it and use it in the wrong way.
Live at the Avenue. Here's Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
Mike Hott. You're listening to Truth Unfiltered. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Denise is around here somewhere.
I'm here.
Or just, doing whatever she does. You know how she be doing me. So,
I am here.
I'm just saying. You know how it is. The one place I am so happy I am not this week? New York City.
Dr. Ken, I know you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
I know you can hear me.
Yes.
I am here.
Yes, you are.
I'm so happy to be here.
Another
Sunday.
Yes, it is. And I'm having an exciting
February 22nd. I was thinking about that as I was driving today. It is already almost the third month of the year, meaning the first quarter of the year is about to be over already. And I feel like I just said 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. So once again, the year is flying.
Yeah. However, if you were in New York, you'd be getting or expecting roughly 2 to 3 feet of snow.
As in feet, not inches.
Not inches. Feet. Like F-E-E-T, like feet. And
this is when I knew it was bad because they've already given it a name, Dr. Ken.
What is
They've
it?
already given this blizzard a name. It's like Harimondo, Blizzard Harimondo.
No.
That's bad when they give blizzards names like hurricanes.
Yeah. And I don't think people understand the difference that a blizzard is basically a snow hurricane. So like you have water in a regular hurricane. If it snows, it's called a blizzard. Where, you know how you say, I can't see my hand in front of my face? They can't see the hood of their car in front of them. Like, that's how bad. And they expect in some places 80 to 90 mile an hour wind. I just, yeah. Like Egg Harbor, New Jersey already has wind gusts of 50 miles an hour. And snow's not here yet.
Yeah.
Not there yet.
If you have any plans to travel to the East Coast within the next week or this upcoming week, yeah, you probably should not.
Well,
because it's going to be.
What do you call it? They banned all driving and all travel.
Okay, good. And the reason why I say okay, good is because we always have that small percentage of individuals that either think they are Marvel comic heroes, DC comic heroes, superhuman beyond, and still want to conquer a blizzard. And as I've said before, Dr. Ken, and I will say it again, Father Time and Mother Nature are
either one
undefeated.
Say it again.
Father Time and Mother Nature both have, are, and forever shall be undefeated.
I'm still in that one.
It's okay. You can.
It's amazing to me that people think they're not. They think they're indestructible. Oh, I'll be fine. Okay.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because in our second hour. Because we seriously, I know I say this every Sunday, but we really have some very interesting and compelling topics to discuss, and we definitely want to hear from you. Our Citing Unlimited talk and text line is 833-616-1620. Look at that. I did it.
855.
I did it, Dr. Ken. I got the, I messed up. 855.
Yes,
Look, I thought I got it. 855-616-1620. Speaking of people who are under the impression that they are superheroes, in our second hour, we're going to talk about if you haven't heard, NFL wide receiver Rondell Moore was found dead at the age of 25.
Yeah.
And this is the second professional football player within, I would say, 3 or 4 months, because there was the player for the Dallas Cowboys who unlived himself. And during the break, I'll have to get his name. But it's what is causing black male athletes to unlive themselves.
What
the reason why...
Like suicide?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the new term.
I'm not politically correct, so I just...
That's okay. That's why I'm here. So, for example, we don't say homeless anymore. When I say we, the more appropriate, politically correct term for homelessness is unhoused. And so versus saying suicide or they killed themselves, you say unlived.
Well, no disrespect to you. I'm not changing. So thank you.
You don't have to. This was just FYI.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, just FYI. That's one thing in life. As I'm embarking on this milestone of 50 years old, I don't tell adults what to do. And you can't tell kids what to do, so I just mind my business.
That is true.
But it's interesting to understand because for our non-Black listeners, and please, Dr. Ken, I can't wait to hear your response to this. Suicide, unliving, it just wasn't dominant in our community.
That is true.
You just didn't hear, growing up, we didn't hear a lot of Black folks killing themselves or unliving themselves. And what amazes me, Dr. Ken, is that with this newfound increased amplified awareness of mental health within the younger generation, i.e. millennials and Gen Z, despite this new profound awareness of mental health, I'm seeing and reading about more younger people. I mean, his life hadn't even started yet. 25? And I'm seeing now, with the social media association, more younger generation members unliving themselves. But what's crazy, and again, Black men, I can't relate because growing up, you just didn't hear or read about a significant number or at all Black men unliving themselves.
But there also weren't some of the pressures that are prevalent today. How can I say this? I think they're the same. They're just coming from multiple points. Usually you had somebody beefing with you, and it was you and like the one person, and they told a friend. Now it goes viral, and it's 1 million people, and that can be, that can be very weighty on a person when you realize that or you think that everyone hates you or disagrees with you, when in fact you may not have been given the tools you need to emotionally realize that not everybody agrees with you anyway. And so you shouldn't be bothered by standing your ground and holding on to what you believe. So, yeah.
I think also one of the biggest misconceptions when you hear about a professional athlete unliving themselves is, well, what could they possibly be going through? They got money. And I'm glad you brought that point up, because obviously money has nothing to do with whether or not you feel worthy or equipped to face another day.
And in some instances, it might actually be the reason why you commit suicide, because money issues or
family, all up in your business.
Gambling, debt, all sorts of things. So it's unfortunate.
Did you hear what I said, Dr. Ken? Look, family, all up in your business. Yeah. Oh, you play for the NFL?
Can I have a house?
Well, there's this project I got.
Can I have a car?
Well, we are going to discuss that in our second hour. In the first hour, we've got more of our local news that we want to cover. Speaker of the House, Wisconsin Speaker Robin Vos, and Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers have revealed their latest tax relief negotiations and the most recent upfront interviews. Well, Dr. Ken and I, we want to unfilter the truth in terms of what does this really mean and who really benefits. You'll be interested because I'm sure, or I should say, you'll be a little surprised to hear what me and Dr. Ken have to say about this, because I think a lot of times people assume that because of who I am, I'm not going to speak for you, Dr. Ken, but because of who I am, I'm going to automatically lean a certain way. And so you want to stay tuned in, because Dr. Ken and I are going to unfilter the truth regarding this most recent tax relief negotiation between the left and the right in our state capital, Madison. And speaking of which, the Assembly has also passed women's health care, online sports betting bills. Yep. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in our state capital. And so we want to, Dr. Ken and I want to make sure that as part of unfiltering this truth, you leave with your own understanding of who's winning and who is losing with these changes in the state of Wisconsin. So we're going to jump into that. We come back. Again, our Citing Unlimited talk and text line is 855-616-1620. We want to hear your thoughts as well. let us know. You can also stream and watch Dr. Ken and I live on X, formerly known as Twitter. Just search for 620 WTMJ. And I believe are we on YouTube tonight? And we are also on YouTube. Same thing. You want to go to YouTube and search for 620 TMJ and hit that subscribe button. And also hit the notification bell so you never miss Dr. Ken and I every Sunday here on 620 WTMJ. The Truth Unfiltered with Dr. Ken Harris and your girl DT. We will be back.
The time to start that home project is now. Get all the information you need to renovate your home during the Spring Home Improvement Showcase. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Join us as we highlight the best partners for you to improve your home, including appliance gallery, comfort awnings, ridgetop exteriors, and outdoor living unlimited. Make your home the best it can be with the Spring Home Improvement Showcase on WTMJ.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem, and I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who'll tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Yes, Toradol is considered a strong pain reliever. It's one of the most potent non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs available. And absolutely, hyaluronic acid is used to treat shoulder, hip, elbow, and knee pain. It's a lubricating gel-like substance that reduces stiffness and improves mobility. It acts as a lubricant and shock absorber, reducing friction in the joint. And when we pinpoint the root of your pain, and we combine these powerful 100% FDA-approved pain relief medicines, if thousands of patient confirmations tell us anything, you're going to experience pain relief. And because of this, your quality of life increases, and you'll start living better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. There's much more to life that you've been missing because of your pain. This isn't even about taking a chance. It's about taking your first step to living pain-free. Go to rejuvenex.com to schedule your appointment so we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Coming back.
Call today and there's a good chance we could be seeing you tomorrow.
Welcome back to The Truth Unfiltered.
I've always wondered, is that a keyboard or a guitar or I don't know. Sounds like a ukulele.
I'm sure Dr. Dre used a ukulele when he recorded
You might use whatever you
that
need
song
in order to get the sound that you want. I'm just saying.
Well,
Unlimited WTMJ talking text line is 855-616-1620. So somebody put in the YouTube chat, I don't really understand. He said, I feel like intelligence has declined. Imagine getting shamed for sexuality and then exploit it. Also, head trauma and complicated egos with a lot to take on the chin. It's a lot of hurt, gorgeous women. Interesting.
I didn't see that. Hold on, let me refresh. I'm like, I totally missed that. Okay. Well, yeah. If you could add some more context to that, but we definitely appreciate you and all of our valued listeners this evening, because right now we're going to talk about 3 P's: power, politics, and the price. Or excuse me, I should say power, priorities, and the price of politics. Because right now, Dr. Ken, in Madison, lawmakers are debating what to do with $2.5 billion with a B budget surplus. That's right, $2.5 billion. And the question isn't whether there will be tax relief. Republicans in the Senate, or I should say in the Assembly, and Governor Tony Evers all say they want it. So who actually benefits from this? Who do you think benefits from this, Dr. Ken?
Nobody.
Well, let me just add this, because if you haven't already heard, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos, who was the longest serving speaker in the history of Wisconsin, just announced last week, I think I received the email in my inbox, I want to say either Wednesday or Thursday, where he is stepping down after suffering a heart attack. And so he says compromise is slow. I've always felt like politics can be messy. And with Speaker Vos stepping down after suffering a heart attack, but when you see all the headlines of legislators that are not seeking re-election or that are announcing their retirement, I honestly, Dr. Ken, I feel like people are just tired of fighting.
Yep. So
do you think, Dr. Ken, and again, our Citing Unlimited talk and text line is 855-616-1620. Are even elected officials tired of politics? Are even people like, Speaker Vos and all these other politicians and legislators that are stepping down, are they tired of politics, or are they tired of politics not working for them? Because it seems like while politicians are debating this tax relief in Madison,
right,
a lot of folks, especially here in Milwaukee, are saying, well, where's the relief in our neighborhoods? And because, think about it, Wisconsin right now, which I never thought I would say, Dr. Ken, has a massive budget surplus. Now, Republicans want tax relief packages. Governor Evers says he wants rebate checks and wants property tax relief and school funding instead. So do we want short-term checks, or do we want long-time investment? And how does this money actually help working families, not only in Milwaukee, but the entire state of Wisconsin? So how are you feeling about this? What are your thoughts?
I think the state should be like the Internal Revenue Service. And when you overpay, you give it back. You give it back to the people that overpaid. I don't really understand the argument or the fight. The governor says, oh, you're sending out checks. First of all, after about a month, people forget about it. And secondly, it costs money to do that. Like, what? That was just the dumbest statement in the world. Sending out checks, first of all, it's a quote. He said, that's just a joke. It's like buying votes. We need to get into the system. We need to get in the places where property taxes can be relieved. Sending out checks, first of all, after about a month, people forget about it. But secondly, it costs money to do that. Huh? It costs our money. See, the problem with that is that people like Governor Evers believes that your money is actually his money. And that if you give it to him, he can't give it back. He's got to find some way to spend it. It's like having a nonprofit mentality. If they give it to us, we got to spend it, because next time we won't give as much because we didn't spend as much. Not with my tax dollars. No, you need to give me my money back, just like everybody else does. It's like they want to give more money to schools. After they give more money to schools, you literally set up a tax increase for the next 400 years. Then the Wisconsin Supreme Court said, yeah, you can do that because you're governor and you have the veto power. And he does. He's 100% correct in him being able to do that. The problem is you just jacked 400 divided by 20. You just jacked about 20 generations of Wisconsinites who can be guaranteed their taxes are going to go up every year for schools, even though we have less children in schools. That's the kind of guy he is.
I'm going to respectfully disagree. I'm going to respectfully disagree.
Okay.
And the reason why is I've been on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was, let's say, in a lower income tax bracket, where I actually, which it seems like centuries ago, it feels like centuries ago, I used to actually get a tax refund, an income tax refund check.
Right.
And you know, when you receive these short-term checks, you make short-term decisions. Where for me, when you look at Milwaukee public schools, out of all the towns, the counties, the cities, the villages in Wisconsin, Milwaukee public schools relied the most on state funding, yet received the least. And when I look at the education gaps that have consistently impacted Black and brown families the hardest, investing in our future workforce and our economic mobility, it has to start with investing in schools. Also, when you look at Black women who face higher maternal mortality and breast cancer risks, I'm all about the two bills that are going to provide postpartum Medicaid coverage,
absolutely,
breast cancer screenings
yes.
for women with, you know, and then finally, and I'm going to call Governor Evers out because I thought it was bold, but I think it was a fair point because, you know, he said our economy would implode, I can't even say the word, would implode overnight.
If what?
And he based that on if immigrant workers disappear from Wisconsin farms and factories. So he basically gave the entire state of Wisconsin a warning against federal immigration crackdowns because, you know, we've been talking about ICE and other federal law enforcement officers that are going to be coming into the state of Wisconsin. And my thing is, this is how I feel about the entire immigration or deportation efforts. Be careful what you ask for, because when it comes to food production, manufacturing, agriculture, hospitality services, a lot of those workers are immigrant workers. And if you take immigrant workers away, who here is going to do those jobs? So I'm for me, for me, long-term versus short-term, I'm leaning more towards what Governor Evers is proposing with this $2.5 billion surplus versus giving everybody a quick check. How would you spend it? Like, that's the thing. Like, if you get whatever our cut would be out of the $2.5 billion.
Like, it's literally not the government's money. It's their money. It's not like he's giving back something or creating a fund
when you hit a break,
or moving something from one space to another. You literally paid it to him. You overpaid, and he's telling you, no, I'm not giving it back because I know what to do with your money. Now, those bills.
So when we come back from break.
Okay. Because I
want to ask Dr. Ken, and I want to ask you this too. For the rebuttal, but I also want to ask Dr. Ken this question. Our Citing Unlimited talk and text line is 855-616-1620. Here's my question to Dr. Ken and to you, our valued listener. Would you rather get a one-time rebate check, which is what Speaker Voss is proposing, or a permanent property tax relief, or I should say permanent property tax relief, as well as seeing money going back into Medicare, Medicaid, affordable housing, etc., healthcare? Should Wisconsin put more of the surplus into public schools, tax relief, or a one-time rebate check? So stay locked into the Truth Unfiltered. We're going to hear from Dr. Ken, and I want to hear from you as well. 855-616-1620. Wisconsin got money, y'all. We'll be back.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
So if you're looking to install a new glass shower door, you're going to want to see selection. The more you see, the better choice you can make. And that's why our store is loaded with 20 different glass shower door options. And what sets Les's Glass apart is that you're going to have somebody close by for help who's been here for years and years to ask them questions and get reliable answers. Now, no one's going to be hounding you, but when you need an answer, you're not going to have to search around. One thing you can count on at Les's Glass is that there will always be a member of our staff here with decades of experience. And that matters, because how many times have you been at the big box home improvement store, walking around trying to find someone who can actually answer your questions? This is Stacy Sinks. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed. Mamma mia! Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about.
You're listening to The Truth Unfiltered.
Whose world is this? The world is yours. The world is yours. You're listening to The Truth Unfiltered. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Denise Thomas is here. Evan is here. You're here. 855-616-1620 is the Saturday Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line. What are your thoughts? What should Governor Evers do with this money? Denise says she had a question for me, so I'm going to acquiesce and allow her to bombard me with the bombastic words.
Okay, this is actually a very serious question. Yes. And again, I'm going to start with Dr. Ken, but we're going to unfilter this truth. I want to hear from you as well. We already have some perspectives coming in on our Citing Unlimited Talk and Text line, which is 855-616-1620. So the question is, based on Wisconsin having a $2.5 billion surplus, how would you spend it? So, Dr. Ken, valued listeners, would you rather get a one-time rebate check or see permanent property tax relief? Or should Wisconsin put more of that surplus into public schools, especially in cities like Milwaukee? Now, before we hear from Dr. Ken, I got to just quickly go to our talk and text line. One of our valued listeners said, Dr. Ken, I think one of the problems is the general public thinks government can solve all problems through legislation. I think all people from the president to corporations to insurance companies to school boards, all the way down to our children, have to act more responsibly and tackle these problems together. And if I'm not mistaken, 5 or 6 years ago, the budget surplus $6 billion that has slowly dwindled. If you give it to them, government, we'll find a way to spend it.
I agree with that. And they've shown it. So first things first, what were your choices? Do you want a check versus, first of all, this has nothing to do with you. That's a fool's choice because whichever one you choose, there are significant negatives to it, right? However, we don't get to dictate what people do with the money that you give them because it's their money. So I'm always for giving you back something that you overpaid into if you have it to do it, because that's the ethical thing to do. Now, what was the other choice you had? So
you basically
relief? There's
permanent property tax relief.
Property tax relief, because all they'll do is change the formula in the city. They combine those and say, okay, so you pay this portion to the county, this portion to the city, this portion to the state, and then the money goes out. Well, just because the state says, oh, your total for taxes is $4,000 and your state portion, I'm just making up a number, might be $1,000. Well, they might say, well, if you're going to cut that to $500, the city will raise theirs $500 and we'll just get $500 more. So your taxes will never go down. They'll make sure of it. It'll never happen. The only way that happens is if I give you the money back to replace the money I took on taxes. And then what was your last one? The last choice?
Your favorite, go directly into our public school system, in particular the Milwaukee Public School.
We have been giving
district.
money and increased money every single year since public schools have come out. In 2025, we have less students in school than we had when I got here 30 years ago. Literally, we went from over 80, 90,000 students to about 60,000, if that. Who gives more money to something when you have less people? That's like you going in and saying, hey, I have a budget and I have 10 employees, so I need money for, I need $1,000 per employee. I got 10 employees. Yeah, so give me $50,000. And you'd look at them like, excuse me, why? Oh, well, we got extra stuff we want to do too. You haven't been educating my children with the money that we've been giving and overpaying for decades. Why would I give you more to do the same thing when you're not doing your job? It just makes no sense. I'm not saying it's a waste of money, but you're dropping money into a system that is so inefficient that the one product you have, children passing a standardized test so that they can go to high school and college, and they're failing. So no, I wouldn't give you any money.
Well, Peter on our Citing Unlimited talk and text line, which is again 855-616-1620, says, note that the current state budget spent down the surplus from over $5 billion to about $2 or two. I'm sorry, from over $5 billion to about $2.5 billion, and still didn't adequately solve shared revenue problems to local entities. So zero money should be sent directly to the people. I don't want a rebate check. I want better funding to municipalities to control property taxes. Now, I'm leaning more with Peter because, again, I don't necessarily at this moment, at this specific moment, know how, but I don't think money should go directly to people.
Wait. Okay. Don't ever take back your rebate check from the Internal Revenue Service because you're a person and you just publicly said they should not get their money back. Okay, I got it.
Okay, so first of all, you're talking about two different things. Okay, this ain't the first rodeo. We're talking about Wisconsin. You talked about a federal income tax return. That's two totally different entities to me. I'm not talking about federal money. I'm talking about the state. Wisconsin has a surplus of $2.5 billion.
Get on a plane and go to Dallas. Yeah, we do have kind of a budget deficit
because we don't pay state taxes here.
Huh? I know that.
We don't pay state taxes here in Texas.
I know. Hello.
Look how I be flip flopping, y'all. Like 5 minutes ago, I was like Milwaukee. Wait. Now I'm like,
we don't pay no taxes.
Oh, really quick. Someone said, can you guys repeat that Father Time and Mother Nature saying or quote that? You just said that was fantastic, but I just turned the radio on. Y'all really love that.
Told you.
Well, it is this. There's two. I don't even know how to categorize it, but the quote is this. I do not mess with two, not entities, but I don't mess with Father Time and I don't mess with Mother Nature because they are undefeated. Do not try to defeat Father Time or Mother Nature. They have, are, and shall forever be undefeated. And we were talking about Mother Nature because if you are just tuning in, and thank you again for tuning in, by the way, there is a major blizzard that is hitting the East Coast. So if you have any friends, families, or loved ones, or even enemies, like if you have somebody who you don't like and they live in the East Coast, you could be like, ha. No, that's petty. That's not nice. But yes. And you know it's bad, Dr. Ken, because they've named it.
Yeah.
They've named the blizzard.
Yeah.
And I owe y'all the name of the blizzard. Okay, so let me see. East Coast blizzard. It's like Hernando or something of that nature. But and I was like, man, I have never. Storm Hernando. Now, you know it's bad when a winter storm officially gets a name. So if you are listening in the East Coast, I'm sending you positive energy and positive vibes because Winter Storm Hernando is currently striking the East Coast. Thousands have already lost power. I'm sorry?
Can you send me a house? Like, I'm on the East Coast and my house is blown away. Those positive thoughts are great, but I need a house.
You're right. Because that gets on my nerves when people say you're in my thoughts and prayer. I mean, it's like
what?
I appreciate prayers and I appreciate you being in your thoughts, but
you got some money?
But right now, yeah. So that's where that came from. But I'm so glad to know that y'all appreciate that quote because again, they are undefeated. Father Time. And when I say Father Time is undefeated, Dr. Ken, you know what I mean. Like, for example, I turned 50. Woo. And I keep saying that because I'm just trying to wrap my head around that. When I was 20 or 30, and you would have said, Denise, one day you'll be 50. My immediate thought was, that's old. That's ancient. And here I am. Father Time, undefeated.
And it's a blessing.
It is a blessing.
Yes, it is.
So shout out to all the 76ers that are turning or have already turned 50 this year and will be turning 50 this year. But again, going back to the original point, Dr. Ken, from a state, no, I'm serious. You compared the federal income tax return. Okay, I'll say it to you this way, Dr. Ken.
You got to get ready for YouTube. Wait a minute. Okay.
When I used to receive income tax refunds, and that feels like centuries ago.
Last year. Okay, well, go ahead.
No, I haven't received. Well, they ain't none of y'all's business. Anyway,
man, I haven't received a tax refund, and I don't even remember when.
Okay, put it like this: tax refunds for me are Black History.
Right.
That's how it is. Literally a Black History chapter.
Yep.
Right. That is not something I can relate to.
Yeah.
And so because of that, what I was going to say is when I did receive both federal and state income tax refunds, my federal check was always like, woo, 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 state, Wisconsin state income tax refund. I'll be like, man, you can keep this. No, I'm serious. That's why I was like, why are we even, raise your hand if you get a substantial state tax refund. Like you're gonna miss that compared to what you get with your federal income tax refund.
That is true.
That's all I'm saying. So no, you cannot have my federal refund, but you can go ahead and have the state one. That's like a value meal. It's like a piece of bubble gum.
I wish.
But maybe I'm far removed because I haven't received one in
the majority
a long
of the people
time.
Are middle class, and they need that to be able to have their money in their pockets during the year. So if you have an excess, give it back to them. Like, I don't really understand. It's just this weird thing, as if the government has never in the history of government been able to fix anything in this country. If you really think about it, ever. They can't fix education. They can't fix nutrition. They can't fix energy. It usually takes somebody like a you or a me or some kid in school or somebody in college that goes, I'll share this before we go to break. Somebody gave me, I'm not going to say somebody. I was talking to Kaylin Haywood Sr. the other day, and we were in a meeting, and I told her the story on the truth. And he said, you realize that everything that's ever been invented has already been invented? That we really just take, like when we started, you had light, you had water, you had electric, you had energy, you had all those things. Somebody put those components together because they were able to think about it, take what was already there and made a laser. They didn't invent a laser from anything. They didn't invent something that then invented laser. They just took components that were already there. Everything we can do, we can already do. We have the mindset. We have the thoughts. All we got to do is connect the dots. And for some reason, we think the government can connect dots better than people. The government has never invented anything. But yet we look to the government for leadership. It's just bizarre.
Well, I want to respond to that. I know we got to take a break. I got to say this really quick. Someone just sent on our Sighting Unlimited Talk and Text line, I listened for the 22-minute drive home I had tonight, and I heard the woman host tell the male host 4 times that she turned 50. Does she have anything else to say? Well, first of all, thank you so much for listening during your 22-minute drive home. Around here, we appreciate every minute that someone spends tuned in. And yes, I did mention turning 50 a few times because reaching 50 is not just a birthday for me, it's a milestone. And for many of us, it's a victory lap after decades of life, work, and community. But don't you worry, we come back. I've got plenty more to say. Dr. Ken and I are going to talk about leadership, about Milwaukee, about the issues impacting Black and brown communities, and how we're going to move this state and city forward. So keep listening, because if 22 minutes caught your attention, the next conversation might just change your perspective. And if turning 50 means I've earned the wisdom to speak my mind on this mic, then that's what I'm going to do. What else you got, listener? All right, y'all, you're listening to The Truth Unfiltered. Again, we come back. We've got more very, very interesting topics, including Alexis Patterson's mother plans a lawsuit against Milwaukee police over her disappearance. We're going to get into the value of Black children, because there's been a lot of coverage regarding missing persons that look or identify a certain way, but rarely do you hear about other demographics, in particular Black children. So we're going to get into that, as well as a Milwaukee gun violence trend. And for some reason, prevention advocates are surprised. That and more. We're going to continue to unfilter the truth with Dr. Ken Harris and yours truly, DT. You are listening to The Truth Unfiltered on 620 WTMJ.
And because I like things even, and it was already said 5 times that Denise was 50, I'm going to say it 6 times. Denise is turning 50.
The time to start that home project is now. Get all the information you need to renovate your home during the Spring Home Improvement Showcase. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Join us as we highlight the best partners for you to improve your home, including appliance gallery, comfort awnings, ridgetop exteriors, and outdoor living unlimited. Make your home the best it can be with the Spring Home Improvement Showcase on WTMJ.
Do you have a clear advertising message that assures your potential customers will choose your business over others when they need your goods or services? Will you have time to nurture it so it stays interesting? Can you buy media effectively and cheap enough so that your business stays top of mind? You're a business owner, and we understand how busy you are. And that's why we do these very things to help our clients gain market share and grow their business. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small budget advertisers get better results. Making a big advertising budget work? To us, that's easy. We feel that our ability to make small advertising budgets work in a big way truly demonstrates we really do know what we're doing. And that's why we should talk. We'll take your advertising budget, put it to work, and if history tells us anything, it will be the best investment in your business that you've ever made. Go to Anderson-Smith.com, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because small or big budget, we help advertisers get better results.
St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care switched from a previous vendor to business technology from James Imaging Systems. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. It's not just all about the money. We're getting value here as well.
Robert Prang, CIO with Tri-City National Bank, likes the fact that James Imaging is local.
So being able to work with a local company like James that has that flexibility with their staff and being able to deliver for us has given us the ability to make the right decisions for our organization.
And Junior Achievement of Wisconsin VP of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, had this advice for others.
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Welcome back to The Truth Unfiltered.
Oh, I'm supposed to be on the radio? I thought I was supposed to be dancing. You're listening to Truth Unfiltered. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, along with the effective communication coach. You can find her at realcomcoach.com.
Who's turning 50?
Or you can go on Amazon and get her new book.
Done.
She's got a
I'm
phenomenal
done.
book, and I think you should read it because I have to be honest. I hate that book because every time I read it and go through it, and I got it it's kind of in bad shape now because she got me a copy, and I kind of went, oh, this is great. I like that. Dog ear, dog ear. And then you come back to it, and I can see the crumbs and the so it's not pretty. And really what it did for me, because my PhD is in leadership studies, it reminded me and regrounded me into, these are some of the things that actually still work, that it doesn't matter what generation you're in. It doesn't matter where you work. There's just some things about people and places and meetings that you need to know. So you should go check it out. Just check it out. Just go.
Well, thank you for that endorsement, Dr. Ken. Yeah, check it out. It's on Amazon too.
Yeah, I hate that book. I hate that book. Oh, I didn't do that right. Oh, I didn't do this right. Nah, I got to change this. Nah, I got to change that. Oh, right? Because it's like gentle correction. It just kind of reminds you, oh, that's right, I didn't do that. It's like going back to a recipe, right?
Yes, I love that. I'm going to use that.
I cooked it and it tastes good, but it would have been better if I'd have followed the recipe. So you might have been successful in what you do, but it would have been better if you had a recipe. And that's what the book is. So I'm just saying.
I so appreciate you saying that, Dr. Ken. That means a great deal coming from you.
To the next hour, you know that, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, and because I just did the same thing. I did the time check. Well, to your point, when we come back from our next break into our second hour, we're going to get into another headline, because some stories are just more than headlines. And we're going to get into Alexis Patterson, who was just 7 years old when she disappeared on May 3rd, 2022, after walking toward Highmount Community School on Milwaukee's north side. And 24 years later, her mother, Ayanna Patterson, is now preparing to file a $10 million lawsuit against the Milwaukee Police Department. So we're going to get into that. We have a retired law enforcement officer, Dr. Ken Harris. So you definitely want to stay locked in to hear his thoughts, perspectives, and educated opinions. We're also going to get into, there's been a significant amount of gun violence that has taken place in Milwaukee. And what was surprising to me was that prevention advocates are surprised. Finally, this is Black History Month. This is actually the last show during Black History Month 2026. And we definitely want to recognize one of the most prolific, prominent civil rights icons, Reverend Jesse Jackson, who passed away last week on the 17th of February, to be specific, who passed away at the age of 84. So stay locked in. Dr. Ken and I will be back to unfilter all the truth. We want to hear from you as well. 855-616-1620. We'll be back.
At
Abbey Home, our mission statement is making lives easier. Let us make your life easier by custom designing the bathroom to fit your needs so you can stay in your home longer. We will make your shower system safe but stylish by taking out your old tub, and you'll be able to walk right into your new shower. We'll add grab bars, a stationary seat, and glass doors that'll make your new bathroom a stylish success. Right now, get a free shower door with all bathrooms and payments as low as $98 a month. If somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
Your European experts at Fox World Travel are ramping up and busy as ever. When you want to see more of Europe, Princess Cruises delivers. With Princess Cruises and Fox World Travel, explore iconic Mediterranean ports by day, then relax in classic comfort by night. From immersive shore excursions to destination-inspired dining, every moment is designed to feel effortless. Ready to set sail on your Mediterranean adventure? Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com to book your European getaway.
The time to start that home project is now. Get all the information you need to renovate your home during the Spring Home Improvement Showcase. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Join us as we highlight the best partners for you to improve your home, including appliance gallery, comfort awnings, ridgetop exteriors, and outdoor living unlimited. Make your home the best it can be with the Spring Home Improvement Showcase on WTMJ. Point taken with Scafidi and Bride.
The invitation went out to Attorney General Pam Bondi. She acted about as unprofessionally as anyone could ever act in front of a House committee.
Over something incredibly serious when we were talking about the Epstein files, but the fact that was what a lot of the questions were about, and her being that defiant, like, I'm not sure she won herself any fans yesterday.
No, I don't like her persona. I don't like her attitude.
Weekdays from 10 to noon on WTMJ. Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
If you're the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, you should be happy when other people want your coaches.
Okay. See the world from his perspective.
And the flip side of it is nobody wants any of your guys. The same thing with players going to free agency.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, every day at 7:50.
If half your guys don't get picked up, you're probably like, well, this guy probably shouldn't have been in the league last year. We should want Jimmy Leonard to go be a head football coach.
Mark Tauscher, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty is taking you courtside. Powered by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Butts Insiders is your inside look at player updates, game previews, and exclusive analysis with special guests all season long.
I think after the game, he had 3 words to say: I get buckets.
Tune in every Thursday at 12:35, only on Wisconsin's Midday News.
For the win! It's good!
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it's 22 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a few snowflakes possible, a low of 15. Monday, partly cloudy and breezy, a high of 27. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Gatso. Violence has erupted in the Mexican state of Jalisco after officials announced the killing of the country's most wanted cartel leader. CBS's Willie James Inman.
A defense official tells CBS News a Pentagon task force played a supporting role, but emphasized it was a Mexican government operation. That task force, which works to counter cartels, has shared intelligence with the Mexican military in the past. Amid sporadic violence, multiple airlines have canceled flights to Puerto Vallarta, and at least one turned around amid the unrest.
Americans in parts of Mexico were being urged to shelter in place. The Wisconsin Assembly has approved a bill that changes UW athletics funding and NIL rules for student athletes.
The measure directs about $15 million annually in state money toward facility maintenance. This includes $14.6 million for UW-Madison and $200,000 for UW Green Bay and UW-Milwaukee. It also requires student athletes to disclose NIL agreements and prohibits deals tied to performance, alcohol, tobacco, gambling, and other restricted products. The bill now heads to the Wisconsin Senate for consideration. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
A neighbor saves 2 dogs from a fire in the town of Friendship. Fond du Lac County Sheriff's Office says Brandon Huffman was not home when he noticed smoke through his security cameras. So he called his neighbor, who was able to safely open a door and get the dogs outside. Fire crews found a faulty dehumidifier had caught fire and melted down to its coils. No one was hurt, and the home's basement sustained soot and minor smoke damage. Crews tearing down the 27th Street Bridge over I-94 are taking unusual steps to protect the roadway below.
When a road is demolished, what happens when the concrete falls down to the pavement below?
You create a giant sandbox on the freeway just to make sure that roadway stays protected so it's safe to open to traffic in the morning.
The DOT's Eric Hansen says that protection takes serious material.
Yeah, it's usually at least several inches thick. We're probably talking about 40 tons or so.
And all that sand has to be cleared up before the morning rush hour. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
A long-standing Milwaukee business is reflecting on 8 decades in the community.
Glorioso's Italian Market celebrated its 80th anniversary with cake, coffee, and giveaways for customers. Co-owner Carmine Presta says the celebration is about thanking the community that has supported the store for generations.
Then you get to meet the customers and you become friends with them, and you see the same customers weekly or monthly as they're traveling in from a few hours away. I think those are the best memories, is just making memories with your regular customers. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that.
The store is back open after the tragic fire that caused the business to close for months, now celebrating 80 years. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Sports traffic and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:03.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief, because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Save big money on everything for your next bathroom project now at Menards. Upgrade your bathroom with Max. With more than 1,000 showers, bathtubs, and surrounds, you're sure to find exactly what you need to add luxury and style to your bathroom. Save big on our entire selection of Max bathroom products. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests.
That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. The Bucks fall to the Raptors 122-94. They're home again on Tuesday night, taking on the Heat. In their second day of Cactus League play today, the Brewers lose to the Royals 7-3. Next up, the Brew Crew takes on the Padres tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. And in today's final Milan Cortina Olympic Games, the U.S. men's hockey team defeats Canada 2-1 in overtime in the gold medal final. In college sports, Badgers women's hockey defeats St. Cloud 4-2, and Badgers men's basketball defeats Iowa 84-71. Badgers sports updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Pretty clear on the roads, no major incidents, no major slowdowns. And taking a look at the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy with a few snowflakes possible, a low of 15. Monday, partly cloudy and breezy, a high of 27. Tuesday, a chance for light snow, a high of 37. Wednesday, partly cloudy with a chance for wintry mix, a high of 32. Thursday, mostly cloudy and another chance for that wintry mix, a high of 36. On Friday, mostly sunny skies, a high of 45. Right now in Madison, it's 17 degrees. Green Bay, it's 20. Waukesha, it's 19. And in Milwaukee, it's 22 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
We live in a country that is based on capitalism.
True.
I travel all around the world, Dr. Ken, and when I tell you, based on my experiences, this is like the number one country that cares. Like, everything is about money.
Yep.
Everything.
I've told people in the past, you have to be careful of what you complain about and what you use as a tool, because other people will take it and use it in the wrong way.
Live at the Avenue, here's Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
You are listening to Truth Unfiltered, as you just heard. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is Sunday, February 22nd, 2026.
Like how I direct the music and everything?
Oh, is that what you were doing? You were being a conductor?
Yes.
I thought you were having another episode, Dr. Ken. I just didn't want to disrupt.
Way to bash the
'Cause
disabled like me.
When you're having an episode, it's just best I let you just navigate it yourself, you know?
Oh my God. I can't believe she did that. Evan.
It's okay.
Excuse me, I'm being melodramatic. May I? Oh.
Carry on.
Okay.
All right.
It's our turn.
So, Dr. Ken, I'm going to ask that you pause for a moment, because I know that as a father, as a husband, as an award-winning talk radio host, those are a lot of roles, and sometimes you have to compartmentalize. Sometimes it has to be multiple hats. So when we talk about this, I just want you to pause for a moment and get complete with which hat or hats you want to put on as you react. So for nearly a quarter century, a mother has been asking the same question that, as far as I'm concerned, way too many black families in America, and including Wisconsin, have had to ask. Did anyone really look for my child? And tonight, that mother is saying that the investigation has failed her daughter. She says the Milwaukee Police Department has failed her family, and she is demanding answers. So Alexis Patterson disappeared on May 3rd, 2022. She was last seen walking toward High Mount Elementary School. She was 7 years old. Her stepfather, Laurent Bourgui, I'm sorry, I'm totally not pronouncing that correctly, reportedly walked her part of the way.
Bourgeois.
He later died and had ties to criminal activity. Alexis has never been found, and the case remains an open, cold case. Now her mother believes a girl living in Ohio may be Alexis, but she claims, the mother is claiming, that the DNA testing was mishandled. And so this lawsuit, Dr. Ken, that Ms. Patterson is about to file alleges that the Milwaukee Police Department, there was misconduct, there was coercion toward the family, the Milwaukee Police Department mishandled the investigation and created reputational harm. And that's what this lawsuit is alleging. So with that, considering overall missing black children cases compared to missing white women cases, because a lot of times we use it as the benchmark. What are your thoughts?
Couple things I want to correct. First thing is I want to say that I feel bad for anyone who loses a child, especially, I don't know, even come out right, especially a girl, because I have daughters. And so that disheartens me. I remember I was a police officer during that time, at the rank of police officer, and I was working in District 7 day shift, late shift and day shift. And so I remember being assigned, on certain days to be there with the Criminal Investigation Bureau as they followed up leads. These are all the leads we have. This group is following those. This is following those. So they were pretty thorough. We remember leads we had that said And I remember this one, and you know, God forgive me. If you're sensitive, I'll wait 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There was a report that she was buried in a cemetery. And there's only one way to go check in a cemetery. You have to go digging. And I remember that day because my uniform was full of mud and my boots and shoes were soaked and it was raining. And we did checks on pretty much everything. Now, I can't speak for the whole investigation, but the portions. And I really didn't work it. That was like that one day, and then I was done. And I don't remember much of any of it anyway because I wasn't in the Criminal Investigation Bureau. But I think what people need to understand is, first, you can't compare one missing to another or one kidnapping to another because each of them has their own fact pattern. They have their own chronological, logical, relevant events that would make it a legal case that are different. So it's really difficult to compare. They found this kid and not that kid. They found this person, not that person. They did their job here, but they didn't do their job there. That's one. The other one is, at some point, she is suing for mental anguish and reputational harm. Milwaukee police state they haven't received a notice of intent of a lawsuit, but confirm that her disappearance remains an open cold case. Well, at what point? I don't understand why. I understand as a parent, it's your prerogative to do what you want when you want. But at some point, the police focus on everybody in the family and everybody that's secondary to the family, all the friends, the neighbors, everybody. There's a whole process that you go through when you investigate something like that, especially a missing. We're watching it play out with Nancy Guthrie in Tulsa. So it's methodical, and you check everybody. You can't tell them, no, don't check my husband, when we check everybody, every single person. And so she has a right to sue. I'll give her that. But everything has to be looked into. I had no hands.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to, because I didn't interrupt because you started off saying there were two things you wanted to correct. So what did I say incorrectly? I'm waiting for the two things that I said incorrectly.
It was something that people should understand is that you can't.
Okay,
compare,
well, you said incorrect, which then makes it seem like what I said was incredible.
You can't compare a white missing case to a black missing case because each of them has their own set of, they have their own fact pattern. And so
it's not about comparing a black case versus a white case. It's more so whether or not missing black children cases receive the same urgency as other missing child cases. But why or why not?
We can't compare because each one has their own. If you're missing and I have zero information and zero set of facts and no follow-up, no DNA, you're going to say, well, they didn't do anything on that case because they didn't have any evidence. They don't have anything to follow up on.
So you're saying that we cannot compare cases based on racial identity because it's each treated on an individual basis?
Because it's too base. It's too basic, right? If I only compare you to a man and I only use gender, well, I don't think that's fair to either of you. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. You can't.
I don't, and I'm actually like
when
stunned.
you compare something at a base level like race, I don't know if you can say that because I don't think you have enough information. Now, once you start going into the investigation, once you start comparing who the detectives were, once you start comparing how much time per day they spent on it, then you can make that argument. But just to generally say black versus white, I don't think you can say that.
Evan, please tell me it's time to go to commercial break because I need to collect my thoughts before I respond to Dr. Ken. I need to remove. Is it time for a break, Evan?
We can go to break if you want.
Yes.
Okay, because I can't believe you just said that, Dr. Ken.
Well, but Okay.
When we come back, I'm going to have a response because right now I have to go through what we call emotional regulation. You are listening to The Truth Unfiltered. We want to hear from you as well. Our Citing Unlimited talk and text line is 855-616-1620. And when we come back, I'm going to respond to Dr. Ken's perspective that you should not be comparing missing black children's cases to missing white people's cases because it's an individual thing. Wow. We'll be back.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
If you're the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, you should be happy when other people want your coaches.
Okay. See the world from his perspective.
And the flip side of it is nobody wants any of your guys. The same thing with players going to free agency.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, every day at 7:50.
If half your guys don't get picked up, you're probably like, well, this guy probably shouldn't have been in the league last year. We should want Jimmy Leonhard to go be a head football coach.
Mark Tauscher, presented by Hello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
So if you're looking to install a new glass shower door, you're going to want to see selection. The more you see, the better choice you can make. And that's why our store is loaded with 20 different glass shower door options. And what sets Les's Glass apart is that you're going to have somebody close by for help who's been here for years and years to ask them questions and get reliable answers. Now, no one's going to be hounding you, but when you need an answer, you're not going to have to search around. One thing you can count on at Les's Glass is that there will always be a member of our staff here with decades of experience. And that matters, because how many times have you been at the big box home improvement store, walking around trying to find someone who can actually answer your questions? This is Stacy Sinks. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem, and I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who will tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Welcome back to The Truth Unfiltered.
You're listening to Truth Unfiltered. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Denise Thomas, 19 minutes after the hour. 855-616-1620 is the Citing Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. You have any comments about the Alexis Patterson case that's going on? And now Denise Thomas.
I had to breathe, y'all. I love me some Dr. Ken, but he almost, well, no, but in addition to me loving Dr. Ken, he just almost gave me cardiac arrest. So if you're just tuning in, we were discussing the missing case of Alexis Patterson, who went missing May 3rd, 2022. She was last seen walking toward High Mount Elementary School at the age of 7. She's never been found. This case remains an open, cold case. Now, I asked Dr. Ken to provide his perspective based on the fact that he is a retired law enforcement officer. One of Dr. Ken's perspectives, and I'm respectfully going to respond, challenges the idea that missing person cases are treated strictly as individual cases and therefore should not be discussed through a racial lens. Now, Dr. Ken, I understand and I respect the perspective that every missing person case should be evaluated individually. That ideally the law enforcement and the media should treat every case that way. We all gone well that is not the case. So let me just give some statistics here, okay? Number one, Black children are disproportionately represented among missing cases. Black children in this country make up about 13 to 14% of the population, yet they account for roughly 1/3 or more of missing children cases in this country. In 2022, over 36% of missing girls and women were Black, despite Black women representing only about 14% of the female population. Advocacy organizations report that nearly 40% of missing person cases involve people of color, including a large proportion of Black children. So statistically, the issue isn't hypothetical. Black children and women disappear. And let me say it differently. Black women and Black children, because I don't want to say Black children and women and you're thinking I'm talking about Black children and Black women disappear at rates higher than their share of the population. Number two, and then I'll pass the mic back. The media coverage is dramatically uneven. You have multiple academic studies that have documented the disparities in media coverage. So white children represented about 54% of missing child cases, yet they received 88% of media coverage. Black children made up about 35% of the cases, only referenced 7%. Another study analyzing national media news outlets found that Black missing persons were significantly less likely to appear in the news compared to their actual rates of disappearance. So the phenomenon has been widely described as missing white women syndrome, which is a term that is coined by journalist Gwen Eiffel to describe the disproportionate attention to missing white women and girls compared to Black missing children, women. That is a fact. So it absolutely needs to be a factor because missing person cases are not treated individually based on these stats and based on these facts. And I'm looking right at you.
Okay. So, first of all, that's true as it relates to the media. Now, your first argument, put it in context. Why are they missing? What was the outcome? When you look at somebody that's missing, and if you use race as one of the factors while you're doing the missing, you're going to miss much of what you need in order to find the person. You have to remain unbiased and open to figure out why. So how do you do that? How do you look at the fact pattern of when a person's missing? When you remove, let me think of somebody else because that's going to be a lawsuit. When young Kenneth Harris is missing, they have to look at, they use what's called the trap method. It's a legal research thing. So when you go through and you do an investigation, you have to look at what property was identified, items are involved. You get the things, the relationships, determine what are the relationships between the parties? Who do they hang out with? Who do they talk to? Who are the neighbors? The actions, what did they do? He said he took her to school and then dropped her off and then she disappeared. You're the last person to see them. That's part of the relationship. Then time and place. What time of day was it? Whose jurisdiction was it in? What time did the events happen? What time did you dress her? What time? Like all those things play a part. Then how do you remedy this? How do you identify who did this? Those are things that you have to look at and you have to follow regardless of who the person is.
Let me be clear. I'm not arguing because that's why I prefaced this with Dr. Ken, hold on. Which hat did you want to wear in this conversation? I'm not arguing I'm not arguing that investigators intentionally treat cases differently. And you also talked about the media. Well, first of all, the media, they play, to me, the most significant role because without media coverage, so for example, if the media wasn't covering Savannah Guthrie's mother missing case, no one would even know about it.
But
So
the media is
my
covering
thing
it, and
is,
they haven't found her. So,
but what I'm saying is that the systemic factors are media coverage, public perception, socioeconomic bias, and assumptions about, oh, well, they probably just ran away. This is what impacts how missing person cases are treated. So I'm not saying that
treated by
the
who?
police department intentionally, but
Treated by who?
they have to then reallocate their resources based on who's getting the most attention. It is a fact, Dr. Ken. I literally gave you stats and facts.
But but they're not in, okay. But the missings aren't in context for me. So we're just
when
saying
you
they're missing,
examine
but you don't know.
national statistics, when you examine national statistics and media patterns, there is strong factual evidence that not all cases receive the same level of public attention or urgency.
But that
so
is
when that
media.
happens,
I'm
it's
not talking about
it's
media.
not about, but what I'm saying is that then investigators, i.e. the police department, they then are forced to put more attention because of these systemic, and I'm just going to say it, these systemic racial patterns that then result in cases being treated differently. That is a fact. It's not a feeling.
But I don't think you can generalize that across everybody.
Every missing child,
you can't.
Every missing child, regardless of race, every missing child, regardless of race, should receive equal visibility, equal urgency, and resources. And based on the facts that I just shared, that is not the
We
case.
know that can't happen. You know that can't
That's
happen.
cute.
Anybody.
That's cute. We're talking about missing
Put it
children.
in context. Don't do that. Put it in context. You know exactly what I mean. Nobody can do that. You can't give equal treatment to anything. No police department can. No media can. And part of the issue is because we don't run media. We're not in charge of media. We're not in leadership. We're not managers, directors, and so we're not represented. So they do what resonates with them. And if they're predominantly white, then predominantly white people are the ones that go to the top of the. I totally agree with that. I'm not arguing that point, but I can't support statistics that I don't know what context those missings are. I can't lump all missings together. I don't even know the outcomes of those missings. Of those cases they stated, what were the outcomes? We don't know any of that. So to make just a generalization, that's
I'm not making generalizations. I'm okay.
for
So let
me.
me ask
I'm not
you.
speaking
Let me
for you.
ask
I'm not speaking
our
for you.
listeners.
I'm making my statement. I'm not making it against you.
Should cases like this be reviewed by independent investigators after a certain number of years?
I'm sure it's been already, but absolutely yes. Absolutely yes.
And
There
do
should
you
be fresh eyes
believe-
on those cases at least once a year?
Do you believe, and I'm going to ask you, Dr. Camp, but then I want to hear from our valued listeners. Do you believe Alexis Patterson's case received the same urgency as other missing child cases? That's the question I led with.
I cannot make that decision because I was not a part of the case and I didn't follow it at that level. So to make a general statement about that makes no sense to me. I'm not going to
I'm
do
not
it.
making a general statement. I am asking a question. Because when we're having a conversation.
But for me to
So-
make a general statement as to whether or not I believe they gave it coverage, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at it.
Somebody on the Citing Unlimited talking text line said Alexis has been missing since 2002.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to add? Because
nope.
That's what I reported.
Nope.
No, I'm saying somebody on the talking text line said she's been missing since 2002. If I said 2022, that obviously was an error, but she's been missing since 2002. So, dear listener, what else do you have to say? Because what we're not going to do is, and we tend to do that. We want to deflect
make corrections,
and
but we don't-
nitpick. Yeah. So if I said that she's been missing, it's a cold case, and I might have said 2022, to type she's been missing since 2002. No, like, how do you feel about this?
Gotcha.
Because now you're deflecting, and you're picking the wrong person to do that with. 855-616-1620 is our Citing Unlimited talk and text line. this is however you feel. This is a very significant issue that takes place in this country. Because again, I'm not giving you feelings. I'm giving you facts in terms of the number of missing cases that receive attention, thorough investigations, and there is a pattern. Black children are disproportionately represented among missing cases. That's a fact. Now, whether you want to describe it as a coincidence, that is a fact. And this is a show that is focusing on Black and brown people in the state of Wisconsin, in the city of Milwaukee. And whether you identify as Black or not, everybody has been a child at one point in their life. Many of us have children, and many of us are good people. So when we're covering topics like this, and your response is, Alexis has been missing since 2002, that hurts my heart. Because it continues to give the impression that Black lives don't matter. And for a lot of people, they get triggered when they hear that. Try being one. Try being one.
855-616-1620 is the Citing Unlimited WTMJ Talking Text Line. When we come back, I'm going to let Denise hit the Talking Text Line. And there's also some comments in the YouTube chat. You're listening to Truth Unfiltered. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. She is the effective communication coach, Denise Thomas. We'll be back.
QC Kinetics helps active people stay active. People like David Boardman, police officer, competitive athlete, and gym owner who trains hard almost every day.
My body's taken a lot of abuse over the years. I've had multiple knee surgeries on both of my knees. I could barely run a mile prior to going to QC Kinetics. Doctors have all told me, hey, you are going to need knee replacements.
But QC Kinetics gave David great news.
We're going to give you the opportunity to have not one, but 2 healthy knees, and we don't have to cut you open.
And after David's regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics?
Since I've gone to them, I run 20, 30 miles a week. I really wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for QC Kinetics.
From knee pain to Ironman training.
It's a no-brainer.
Now it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics to book your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. Happy New Year. Hopefully you enjoyed the holidays and spent time relaxing. Now it's tax time. I know, it's not the most wonderful time of the year, wondering if you are getting a refund or money to the IRS or to the state, waiting for all the forms to come and wondering what is deductible. Control the situation instead of letting it control you. Let us help you understand all the new tax laws, how they affect you, and how to take advantage of them. Last year, we helped Janet and Norm go from owing $43,000 to getting a $500 refund. We can help you too. The first meeting is free. Call now, 414-325-2040, or visit nealgroup.net. You earned it. We help you keep it. That's 414-325-2040 or nealgroup.net.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory's arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
You're listening to The Truth Unfiltered.
You're listening to Truth Unfiltered. Denise Thomas, Dr. Ken Harris, 855-616-1620. Somebody on the YouTube chat said, like, do you need respect or submission? That makes no sense to me. So I'm going to pass on that. You got something on the talking text line?
Let me see. Jeff says the media will always play to their target audience. Did you read that already, or was that off during the break?
That was during the break.
So yes. So Jeff says from Wauwatosa, the media will always play to their target audience. So if their target audience is of a certain background, they will focus on stories that will get them to continue watching. If nobody watches that media, then that media goes away. That is a huge factor. No disagreement here.
Yep. And that's why we keep hearing about Nancy till it finally went away.
Well, we said that during our show last Sunday because somebody was like, why does Nancy Guthrie get so much coverage? And we literally said what Jeff just sent us on the talking text line.
Money, 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 money.
And we played that song.
So did.
So yeah, Jeff, no argument here.
And when you start repeating yourself, poof, they're gone. Just as fast as.
Now, with that said, the reality is that when the media, and that's what I was sharing with Dr. Ken, when the media starts to place more focus on a certain demographic because of the majority of the media viewers and the sponsors of the advertisements, which ultimately is the revenue for this multi-trillion-dollar industry being the media, it doesn't make it right. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're absolutely right.
It doesn't make it right.
It drives everything in the world. It drives, ironically,
I would say the country. I'm not going to say the world because this country, America, it is the epitome of capitalism. And as somebody who has traveled, again, I've traveled quite a bit over the past 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see money. I'm just going to unfilter my truth. I don't see money worshipped the way that it's worshipped here in the United States, in other countries.
I would
like people.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I would challenge a portion of your. I'm trying to think how I'm trying to say. I would add a portion of information to your belief and your knowledge to watch the documentary Poverty Inc. It is the most eye-opening, real documentary I've ever watched about poverty in another country, in the Caribbean, in Africa, all those things. And really, I think what it'll do is solidify how you feel about the fact that America is only about money, and you don't see it at the level here anywhere else in the world. But even those places that are poor, it's because of things we do here. And I just found it fascinating.
I live in a country where every decision that is made, especially when it comes to the government. I mean, we led with that 2.5 billion surplus, and we've got our government trying to figure out what's the best way to do it. Utilize those monies. And my point is this: everything that we do is based on money, to the point where you have a generation of people who are basically like, I'm not going to waste my time going to a post-secondary institution of higher learning and incur close to $250,000 in student loan debt when I could be a social media influencer. I'm not worried about the lack of or the deficit of healthcare professionals, i.e., physicians, anesthesiologists, therapists. I'm not worried about that because I'm making $60,000 a month just being a social media influencer. Everything in this country is about money.
Even
the car I drive, the neighborhood I live in, the clothes I wear.
Yeah. Although you are pretty.
There's 52 weeks in the year. And if you ask your employer for more than 2 as part of your personal time off, you better be ready to work 5 years before you even think about getting 3 weeks out of those 52. The average American, the professional worker that is exempt from overtime, i.e. salaried employee, average 70 to 80 hours a week.
I'm not taking that job.
A lot of people, but I'm saying there's so much emphasis to the point where I'd rather report or I'd rather not report on a human being that is a child that happens to be black because nobody cares and nobody will watch it. So let me focus on Savannah Guthrie's mother. That's what I'm saying. To the point where if it's a missing child, if it's not going to give ratings, then why are we talking about it? That's what I'm saying.
And if her mother hadn't said she was suing, would they have even talked about it?
Exactly. Because it's, again, how dare you? So it makes me, I'm not going to say emotional because I am working on emotional regulation and the ability to compartmentalize. But as a mother and as a black woman and as a tax-paying, law-abiding citizen in this country, but again, I can't say Black Lives Matter because that's a trigger, but yet I'm constantly reminded every day.
You know what I think we should do?
What?
I think next time, and I don't know when the next time we're on the radio together. We'll have to figure that out because we're both off.
I think it's like March 22nd.
Right. Wow. Okay.
Well, yeah, because of the Bucks and the Bucks games,
that,
and
you know,
we're busy people.
So I think, and Nick Bohr, who wrote the story on WISN, I remember being a police officer and remembering Nick Bohr. Like, I remember working in radio on another channel, and Nick Bohr was there. Like, I've known Nick that long that I know, you know, his some of his family. And I think it would be really cool to have Nick on to talk about it because he's worked that case, like, literally since day one, Alexis Patterson.
I would love to have him as a guest because I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just, you know, when I say I don't know what I don't know in terms of what it goes BTS behind the scenes.
Right. And he's
so I'm always open. I'm sorry?
He's in the media. He's got that perspective. He knows where, you know, all the media bones are buried. And so he can really, you know, these are things the police did. This is what I think the police should have done, all those things. I think it'd be great. He's at WISN.
And again, I want to be clear. I actually agree with you on something that is very important, that every missing person matters. Every mother, every father, every family deserves answers. And you're right. There's not enough. And this is also, actually, it came in through a recent comment on our talk and text line, citing unlimited talk and text line, 855-616-1620. And they basically said there is not a missing person case, whether it be a man, woman, or child, black or white, that is not important. There's not enough airtime to cover every single one. What do you propose as a solution to this problem? And again, Dr. Kenny alluded to that earlier. You hear what you want to hear. And I'm going to just say it again, because evidently I'm not conveying my message, because a lot of times you hear what you want to hear. You are absolutely right. There is not enough airtime to cover every case individually. But the real question isn't whether every case matters. The question is, how do we create systems that ensure every case has a fair chance of being seen and solved? So instead of arguing about airtime, yeah, we should be focusing on solutions. And if you want to ask me, which you did, here's what I think. Law enforcement, media outlets, community organizations can partner and collaborate to maintain those regularly updated dashboards or databases that highlight missing persons in real time. That way, the coverage isn't just limited by broadcast schedules. Also, local news, stations like TMJ and The Truth could dedicate a short weekly or monthly segment highlighting several of the missing person cases at once, even if it was a 60-second segment, anything to bring attention. And then third, the big one, social media allows communities to help fill these gaps that media outlets like Dr. Ken and I, his show. So when media outlets share cases online, the public can then share those on their social media platforms, which is something you can do, dear listener. And then finally, many departments are now reopening older cases using the modern DNA technology and those digital databases. So this is what's ensuring that time and technology can work in favor of families who have waited decades for answers. So I think the real goal isn't trying to cover every case on air. The goal is to build a system where visibility, urgency, and investigative resources are not determined by the media, which is what I've said from the beginning.
And when we come back,
does that answer your question?
And when we come back, I'll talk about just that. You're listening to Truth Unfiltered. 855-616-1620 is the Citing Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. Denise Thomas, Dr. Ken Harris. We'll be right back.
Point taken with Scafidi and Bride.
The invitation went out to Attorney General Pam Bondi. She acted about as unprofessionally as anyone could ever act in front of a House committee.
Over something incredibly serious when we were talking about the Epstein files, but the fact that was what a lot of the questions were about, and her being that defiant, like, I'm not sure she won herself any fans yesterday.
No, I don't like her persona. I don't like her attitude.
Weekdays from 10 to noon on WTMJ.
Are you a fraud-paying American? 1 in 4 tax-paying Americans have been victim of identity fraud. With LifeLock, your identity, if it's stolen, they fix it guaranteed or your money back. And last year, billions in refunds were stolen. Could be from your salary, overtime, or second job. Gone. But this year, you don't need to stay a victim. Because this tax season, fraud-paying American is something no American should have to claim. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms do apply.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Menards 11% rebate is here. From lighting to lumber, from doors to floors. The bigger the project, the bigger the rebate. From painting projects to that new kitchen makeover and designing that outdoor space of your dreams. Save big on any project you're tackling. Hurry into Menards for an 11% rebate on everything. Mail-in rebate is a merchandise credit check, not a point-of-sale discount. Redeemable on future in-store purchases only. Not on future purchases on Menards.com. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Welcome back to the Truth Unfiltered.
You're listening to Truth Unfiltered. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. We got like 5 seconds left, and then we're gone. So one of the things I wanted to suggest to Denise, you can go to missingkids.org or just Google National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Every child that's missing in America, every Amber Alert, they've got a cyber tip line report. They've got missing posters from all over the country and a 24-hour hotline for missing. We've got to figure out a way, and I know this might be too much, but we already got social media sending us crap we don't need anyway. Let's send them something that's significant. I think every time somebody's missing, there should be a notice sent out. There's too much criteria for, it's got to meet this criteria for an Amber Alert, or it's got to meet this. Or we can just have something that every time somebody's missing, this is what you post. Even if it's 5 seconds to alert people. Just like we do silver alerts and all those other alerts we do. I don't see why we can't do it for every single missing person. I also understand the money that it'll take because people are missing and then, an hour or two later they reappear and now you got to cancel the missing. Well, let's set up, like Denise said, let's set up that system so that it's automatic. Whether you go to it on your own or you get it on your phone automatically, but something has to be done so that everybody that's missing gets out. Now, if you're a juvenile and you don't want the information out, or they have to work that out. But at some point, worst case, you can always go to missingkids.org. That's the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and they do training. They tell you the issues about children like autism and kids wander and they walk towards the wall, things like all those things that you need in order to help lessen people, but especially black kids, from being missing.
Well, we will definitely, I'm sure, have more coverage regarding these missing, especially. It just hurts my heart when I read about missing children because, again, as from looking at it from a parent's lens, that is the absolute worst. I can't even, and I won't, because it's not fair to those who do have missing children to even speak on it. It just blows my mind because, again, at the end of the day, we're all human.
Oh, yeah. And
we definitely have that in common. Speaking of which, this is our last episode during the 2026 Black History Month. I am sure that by now you have heard that Reverend Jesse Jackson passed away on February 17th at the age of 84. However you felt about Reverend Jackson, he definitely was a pillar in the civil rights movement and opened the door for many people that pursued a career in politics and even paved the way for Barack Obama and future candidates of color. So before Obama, there was Jesse. He ran twice for to be the Democratic national candidate during the 1988 and 1992 presidential election. Yeah,
and
that's what I thought.
I
Okay.
got a 5-second Jesse Jackson story.
Go. We'd love to hear it.
My first story in journalism, in radio, was an interview with the Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Your first?
My very first.
Talk about a way to launch.
Yep.
That's awesome.
At age 20.
Well, that's awesome. Do you have a picture?
See, she was adding up the numbers. 65.
No, I wasn't. I don't have the capacity at this time of the evening to add up anything. But I will say this. History will remember Reverend Jackson as a preacher, a presidential candidate, a protester. For me, his real legacy, for me, is that he refused to let America forget that democracy is unfinished business.
Yep.
And my question, and this is something that I'm sure Dr. Ken, you and I can discuss on the show in the upcoming shows, who's picking up the baton now? Because many of our leaders, and rightfully so, they fought the good fight. They've lived and served for decades.
But it's time.
Who?
It's time for them.
Who's next? Like, who do we have? Because it can't be Cardi B. It can't be Megan Thee Stallion.
Wait.
It can't be Glorilla.
It can't be Nicki Minaj.
Can't be Nicki Minaj. It can't be Kanye West.
Snoop Dogg.
Who is going to be the next? And it can't just be one. So who's picking up a baton now?
Yep. Who's even in the pipeline?
More to come.
That's a whole issue. But we got time.
Succession planning in the civil rights movement. Who's got the baton now?
Wow.
Because democracy,
yep.
Yeah, democracy is unfinished business in this country. Please don't forget it. And Black history is American history. So with that, Dr. Ken, pleasure as always. And again, we'll be back, I think, March 22nd.
Yep. And don't forget the book. Go to Amazon.
Please. The Only One in the Room. Forward written by Stephen M. R. Covey. Author, yours truly, Denise Thomas. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Dr. Ken, this is a great show. Thank you for your perspective as always. You can listen to Dr. Ken Harris every afternoon live. You can listen and watch him. He's pretty good looking. 4 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Cost me another book. Okay.
Oh, it is. 101.7 FM, our sister station. Evan, thanks so much for holding it down, the ones and twos. Dr. Ken.
Thank you, Evan.
TMJ. We love y'all. Wishing you a great week. Tell somebody you love them. Make it a great week. And we'll see you on the 22nd.